This is The Spot, a BYU-Idaho radio production where we talk about what you're talking about at BYU-Idaho. Today's hosts are me, Savannah Bewley,
Hayden Hon,
Chandler Guadignin,
and Kaitlyn Tippits.
The views and opinions of this podcast are not that of BYU-Idaho Radio or the university and are solely the opinions of the hosts. Today we're talking about sports and all things sports. We've got two of our favorite sportscasters here, Hayden Hon and Chandler Guadignin.
Let's go.
Let's go.
I always love talking about sports. I know it's one of those things that I feel like in one way or the other, everyone can connect with sports, whether it be they themselves play sports or they're a fan of a team or family members part of the team, something like that. Someone always has connections, and so I feel like sports, it's for everybody in one way or the other.
'Tis true. Very much so. Any sport. You got golf. You got a wide spectrum.
Oh, yeah.
Me, myself, I don't like golf, but that's okay. I'm not going to judge.
Hey,
Football,
but golf
basketball,
is fun,
baseball. I don't know. I don't find enjoyment watching it or playing it, but that's all right. I'm going to tear the Band-Aid off right now. But
For me, I haven't played a whole lot of sports, but I actually really enjoy playing softball.
There we go.
Which is really fun. I don't even know if campus has softball. Do they have softball?
I think they do. Yeah, Intermural, right? No?
Intermural. Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. I love softball. So that might be something I should check out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
Kaitlyn, have you played any sports growing up?
I played some volleyball in 7th grade, and then I just play volleyball now for fun. I haven't tried any of the intramural sports, but I love watching them. I've watched some friends play water polo and basketball. And yeah, I agree. I think one thing that's beautiful about sports is that there literally is something for everyone. If you would if you really want to run and you really want to get involved, there's all kinds of sports for that. But if you kind of want that more strategy type game, there's that too. And so I think that there is a lot to love about sports and a lot that people can connect with, which I think is really fun.
See, you mentioned water polo, and that's interesting. The school has so many different sports that I don't even know we have. And so sometimes I think of the things that I wish they had and then realize that it is here on campus. Are there any that you guys wish that the school had?
Talking intramural wise and stuff like that, I feel like recently the big growth of pickleball has kind of picked up, and it's one of those things that when we're talking about sports that are for everyone, it's it's like ping pong, but on a larger scale. Mm-hmm. So people have fun playing it. It's just like a go hang out with friends or go on a date and play pickleball kind of thing. Everyone likes it. I think they might have courts, maybe. I'm not super sure. But intramurals set up for sports at the school, I don't think they have it yet. So I think that'd be a fun thing to bring into the school for sure.
I have to go along with that. Whenever I visit my friends in Utah, we always end up going to the pickleball courts. And they have pickleball courts that are actually built for pickleball at Utah parks, everywhere. And so I think that's a big thing that the school's missing out on. So shout out to President Eyring. I'm giving shout outs all the time.
I just saw him today. I should have,
Yeah?
as I got here, I should have told him, hey, pickleball, bring it.
Bring in pickleball.
Whispered it to him.
I actually did do pickleball in high school, just
for real?
for sports. Just in our gym class, we did pickleball, and I actually really loved pickleball. Like you said, it's something for everybody. It's pretty easy to learn, and I don't know, we just had fun with it. Mm-hmm. So that would be a fun one to put into intramural sports.
It would be legit.
Legitness.
For me, sports wise, that I wish. Okay, I don't snowboard, ski, or do any winter sports at all, period. However, I know plenty of people who do winter sports, and we have lots of snow here, as we can attest to, right? And so I think if we got together and did a ski team, I don't know what that would look like, but if we did some kind of winter sport, I think if we added that in,
it'd be so
good.
Cool.
Yeah.
I do know they have activities where people can pay, I think, $10 or something like that, and they take people to the ski slopes and just everything's taken care of with that $10. They take you there, they take you back, and the ski rental and all of that is included within that. So they do take people, but it's not part of the intramural sports, which would be really cool.
We could make it competitive.
Right?
Isn't that country skiing, right? Instead of the normal downhill skiing? Cross-country skiing.
Cross-country.
That they do the $10 with. I don't know, do they do it with the normal skiing?
I don't know. I didn't know there was a difference, I guess. I'm not super I'm not super sporty, but I don't know much about skiing in general because I've never gone myself. So
Yeah, I think that one's the cross country skiing, which is the $10. Because I have a lot of friends who do skiing. I don't personally ski. I wish I did. Everyone keeps telling me to go, and I'm like, I've never gone, so I know my first time going is going to be a lot of fails. But and I don't really have the money to make it worth it. But they often will talk about the cost of skiing and snowboarding and all that stuff, and how it's expensive. So I'd be surprised if it's $10 to.
Well, I was curious though, besides these kinds of cool activities where they're like $10 each, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
With Intermural, how does that work? How do you join an intramural sport?
So usually I guess the way that I find out best for me, I think BYU-I sports activities is like an Instagram page or something like that. It's by the school. And so they always post like at the beginning of a season, which is like beginning of a semester. And they call it like a first half and second half usually. And so they'll say like, this is our first half sports that we're offering. And then if you want to find out more, you go into like a page and then it'll tell you like what you need to do to register. I think it's usually, you don't pay too much. Depending on the sport, it's really different, I guess. Like I did football and I think it was $20 for the whole season, which is pretty
that's
cool.
not bad.
Yeah, they give you the pads and they give you everything. So it's a cool thing. But then so I guess depending on the sport, like I said, you'd go to like a meeting. Say for football, we had to go to like the concussion meeting, all these other things beforehand.
Which makes
before
sense.
Yeah, exactly. So like educational, like giving you the rundown, and then you're free to go. Like it's just like you're running right into it. So it's a pretty quick process. Quick little payment usually. $20 is probably the most that you'd pay for any sport. So
You know what I wish though? I wish I would see more crowds
me too.
like at the games. Because there are 10,000, 12,000 students here on campus. How many people usually show up to the intramural games? Like I see maybe 50 to 100 people in the crowd. That's not a whole lot of people.
Maybe. You know what? And they play multiple games at the same time. So it's like a crowd of 100, but they're split amongst like 3 games. So there's like, it's like, it's all mingled in there and you don't have 100 going to one game.
Yeah, it's like,
But,
how do we get more people to come,
I mean, one thing, whenever I go to games, it's usually because a friend invited me. Otherwise, I'm not even aware that they're happening. So, I mean, there's that there could probably be more marketing.
Yeah, they need marketing
students to let them know that it's
I
happening.
agree.
It sounds like they might need some communication students, guys.
Let's go. We're the team to do it.
we should make a promo. There we go. PSA, something like that.
Make some PSAs for them.
Yeah.
It's like, here, this is for you. We spent some time.
Like I know you didn't ask, but you
Pro
need
bono.
it. You need
Yeah.
this.
You need this. You need us.
Right.
I think it would help, just because I don't know. Going through high school, I was always told that there's a lot of people that maybe didn't even love sports, but they would love going to the games. They would love hearing the marching band. They would love getting food at the games. They would love being with their friends, cheering on their friends, and it was like this atmosphere that I know we're a smaller college, but I feel like you could bring that high school like atmosphere to one of these games. You know what I mean?
Right? Like, we don't have a pep band, do we?
I don't think. Oh, I mean, I hear them practicing. Sometimes. Have you ever heard them practicing out there? There's like.
I mean, I know we
band.
have Rick Sticks, which is the drum line, but do we have like a pep band?
I want to say. I mean, I heard instruments other than like drumline, but I never like had them like go to a game. I don't think and play during it. So it's weird.
You know
I
how
don't
many
know.
people would show up if the Rick Sticks were part of the games?
So
Like
many.
so many people would show up. Like the Rick Sticks have been like popular for a while. I don't even remember when they started, but people know about them, right?
Yep.
So if they showed up, just the one club showed up to intramural sports, there would be so many more people in the crowd, I think.
This really needs to get sent to President Eyring right now.
Yeah.
'Cause we have so many good ideas, guys.
He probably listens to this, right?
Right.
Yeah.
President Eyring.
If not, we can tag him. We can tag
Right,
him.
there we
He can
go.
listen.
There we
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, we'll send it to him, right? Well, Chandler, it looks like you have a little game for us of sports trivia. I don't know if I'll be the best at this, but I'll try.
Me
I'm
neither, me
going to
neither.
try to intermix some good ones with some difficult ones for Hayden.
Gosh,
Oh.
this is not looking good for me. Probably.
We'll see. All right.
Okay.
When BYU-Idaho was founded, it was called Rick's College, right? And they did have sports. What was the team mascot? What was the school mascot?
Viking.
Vikings. Yeah.
Vikings. There we go.
I'm the only person
There
who
we go.
didn't know.
X.
What is it now, though? Isn't it like
It's
a
the
tree?
Oaks, right? The
Oh,
Mighty
yeah.
Oaks.
Yeah.
We have the
We went from the Vikings
we
to
went
the Mighty Oaks.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. We went from the Vikings to a tree. Bonus points to who who knows the year that the school was founded?
Oof.
Oh, I don't know about that
I
one.
think that's even on the T-shirts. I should know that.
Is it 1800s?
It is 1800s.
1885.
Close. Really close.
Oof.
83.
86.
Is it in the 80s?
It's in the 80s. It's like
89.
-1.
88.
1888.
I'm surprised how
1888.
close I was just
Yeah,
by
that was a
throwing
great
it
one.
out.
Whoa.
Nice.
I was like, this is going to take a while, but Sam's got it. No, you're good. Okay. The Super Bowl was played last month. And so who won the Super Bowl? And I feel like this is a question that anybody can answer because we talk about going to the games. We don't play the games. We go to the games. And this is the number one game for like Americans. They're like, I have to go to this game or I have to watch this game.
Do you guys
So,
know? I'll let them
Who
answer.
won?
I
who won the
have
Super Bowl?
no idea.
Come on.
I
It
make
starts
my
with a K.
brother so unproud
Is it
right
Kansas
now.
City?
Kansas City.
Kansas
Oh my gosh, how'd you know?
The Chiefs.
Way to make me feel like not an American for a
The
second.
unpatriotic. No, I have to disclaim like the Chiefs were the big team on my mission. I served in Nebraska, and so like that area
Ooh, yeah.
was Chiefs country. And
Loved
so
them,
like
yeah.
that was a big thing. Who did they play against?
Oh, I have no
You guys
idea.
not know?
Nope.
Come on. Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh, okay.
I
Okay.
Like- Eagles
definitely,
fly.
if I'd taken a shot in the dark, would not have said the right team.
And they beat my 49ers, but that's okay.
Hey,
Yeah.
John
It's okay.
McSwain from the station, he probably would have been like, you guys didn't know the Eagles were playing? Come on.
I watched it with John, and let me tell you, that was an experience.
Super
But
passionate.
he was unbelievable.
He's
Shout
very
out to John
into it.
McSwain. But well, a sport just started. What sport started this week? It's played in Arizona and Florida to start out.
Thanks for the hints. Baseball.
Spring training
Tennis?
specifically.
Tennis?
Baseball?
No, it's baseball. It's spring
Okay.
training.
Spring training.
The
That's why, that's why you
Giants.
pointed
Shout
out
out to Hayden.
Arizona.
Are 0-2. There we go. San Francisco. Way to go.
It's crazy how many games baseball play though. When I think about it, like compared to other sports, it's wild because they have spring training and then they go right into.
So like we're talking.
the season.
Okay, so the spring slate, baseball like doesn't start mattering until like end of March 30th, April 1st, that area. Before that, they start in like February, and then they play 31 games to start out
Wow.
that don't matter.
yeah,
and then they
imagine
go
playing 31 games that no one cares about.
that no one cares
Oh
about.
my gosh.
And,
Dedication.
except for me, because
oh yeah, there
apparently
we go.
I
True
care.
fan over here.
But then they go into 162 games. So they start in February.
Wow.
They end in October or thereabouts. Last year it ended in November. But yeah, so 162
Blows my
games.
mind.
And then my dad makes fun of me because he's like, didn't baseball already like start or like hasn't it already been going on? I'm like, Dad, it was like 3 months without baseball. I thought I was gonna die. But,
You're one of those guys.
I'm one of those
I can't
guys.
survive without
No.
it.
I survived on football. It's okay. But
Honestly, though, like I don't watch a whole lot of professional sports, but I feel like if I did watch like a major league, it would be baseball, right?
Mhm.
Like some sort of like professional league, it would definitely be baseball. I don't know why. It's just something really fun.
because it's the best.
And I mean,
So
going
cool.
to a game too, like I imagine like going to Wrigley Field or something like that. It doesn't like nothing compares. It's just like one of those fields where like you have to go. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I mean, I'm from Arizona. Like, we don't have a good baseball team. We have the Diamondbacks. Last time they won was like 2000, whatever. But like Wrigley Field, like I just think I'm like I want to go there. I'm not even the biggest baseball fan, but going there
But just fun.
is just like the experience. So I think that's when sports becomes more than just a game, kind of as cliche as that sounds. But being there in the experience, super fun.
I think that's a big part of it. And for me, I bring a lot of memories back for me.
Yeah.
Because like I said earlier, I played softball growing up, and it's just a fun game. And so when I watch other people do it, it makes me remember those times as a kid where I was just having fun in the outfield, like catching the pop flies and just like, eating my big pickle afterwards. You know what I
Yes.
mean? And,
Savannah, were you the one picking dandelions? Be honest. In the
Oh,
outfield, you're just,
oh no, not at
Oh,
all.
no,
Not at
you're-
all.
you're in the
I,
game.
I loved catching those pop flies, and I was waiting. until somebody did
It's a
it,
good
right?
There
feeling.
you go. There you go.
It's a good feeling. It was really, really fun. But I was young. I was a young kid. Like I think I was like 8 or 9, somewhere in there.
Right on.
So it was fun though.
Professional in the making.
Yeah.
Professional in the making. That's right.
Uh,
Do you guys have any sports memories favorite sports memories from growing up?
I've played a lot of sports, been a part of a lot of my, I guess, life growing up. But I would say one of my favorite sports memories, I guess since I'm an Arizona fan, is seeing the Arizona Cardinals make it to the Super Bowl. But it's one of those things where it's two-sided because they got to the Super Bowl and then they lost like last second. But like it meant a lot to the city. It meant a lot to the people. And seeing that, and then same thing with the Phoenix Suns, got to the finals, lost it. But seeing like the whole city get together, it meant a ton to like friends, family, everyone rallied together. Every Instagram post, every Facebook post was sports related. Everyone was together. So I think a sports memory that I think means a lot to me is seeing a city and a people become like one. It like politics doesn't matter. Nothing matters anymore. It's just like sports. And so I would say that. I guess another one I thought of that was super, I wasn't that old, I guess. So I've seen a video of it that's really cool. And it was like, I think right after 9/11, they had a baseball game, right? And
that was what I was going to point out. Yeah, I was 4, but
and you can talk on it too if you know more.
Yeah,
that was
no emotions. Like that was an emotional time, and watching the videos too, that was crazy.
Do you know who was playing? It was New York,
the
right?
Mets and the Yankees who were playing, and because those were the 2 teams in the World Trade Center.
Yep.
And that was a big deal.
It was a huge deal because I think President Bush walked out and everyone was like, that's crazy for a president to walk out after that attack into the middle of like a place that's wide open. Yeah. And he basically was like, let's stand together. And it was like, I get chills watching videos of it now because he basically unites everyone. And like I said, it brings everyone together and gets rid of every, if you thought you had anything wrong, like to say against someone, who cares? Like they're your best friend now. And
so
it just
cool.
brings everyone together.
100%.
So I get chills watching that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. I believe President Bush was in the like underground practicing, right, with one of the Yankees. It was Derek Jeter. He's really famous. But and then Derek went up to President Bush. He's like, don't miss. Don't, like, because he was throwing out the first pitch of the game. And that's like a big ceremony in baseball. And like in that arena with the world watching, it was really just the world because everything was circled around New York City at that point. And he's like, don't miss. And so I'm happy to report President Bush did not miss. He did good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's crazy to see. And it's so true. Nothing brings people together like sports, period.
Honestly, and even if you think of like your favorite kids' memories too, just like playing with the people in your little cul-de-sac, you know.
Oh, yeah.
There's always sports that are played. Just fun, like, you know, kickball and stuff like that. Always little sports played, and actually some of those kinds of sports get bad raps.
Oh, yeah.
Like kickball, for example. People are like, there's no professional kickball.
I love kickball.
But it's so fun, right? There's things like that. I know other people may not see marching band as a sport. I do. And Hayden, we talked about this last semester. Yep. You also believe that marching band is a sport, 100%. Right? 100%. And so a lot of people give marching band a bad rap because it's, you know, it's just different than all the other sports. But for me, like, you are winded and you're playing an instrument with your wind while you're walking across, you know, and marching across.
In unison with everyone, in line. Like, I mean, I did a little bit of marching band, and I had the tuba at the time, and it wasn't even the one that wrapped around me. I had to, like,
you didn't have a sousaphone?
I didn't have a sousaphone, and I was like 8th grade, and they had us do this thing at high school. Like, we were going up to like practice with the high school students, and I didn't have it, and so I had to carry it. I was like sweating. Like, talk about a sport. Like, that thing's heavy in general, even as a sousaphone. But then, like, I had to like hold it like this and hold it straight up because you don't want to be like off to the side or anything. So it's a sport, and it takes a lot of focus for sure.
It does, and 50-pound drums. You know, like, in fact, some of them are heavier than that. But the snare drum, just the snare drum alone, is 50 pounds. If you didn't know that, they are very heavy. Yep, and then the bass drums, of course, are even heavier than that. And you're marching across an entire field while you're doing this. It's absolutely crazy.
New level of respect. Well, I kind of want to backtrack a little bit about kind of some of my favorite memories of sports.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm glad you brought up kickball because I did that in elementary school, and I wasn't particularly good at that. Right? It was just something fun, and I really liked it. And I got it. One of my favorite memories with that is that I got kind of this bad rap around me. Like, I was always the last one picked, right? No one really wanted me on their team. I got a lot of kind of like, oh, man, because I was one of the few girls that played. And so I'd get a lot of like, oh, we don't want her on our team, right? She's like bad. And my favorite memory was proving them wrong. I would come every day and I would just play, and I just like tried to let it roll off me and just have fun. And one day I remember person goes up and it's my turn to kick, and often would get different comments when it was my turn to kick because I wasn't the necessarily good kicker, but I stuck to it. And one day got up to kick and someone throws the ball, right, rolls it towards me. And I just kicked it out of there, like way outfield, like and right, like just like the perfect spot. And like it just was going. I was sitting in awe. Everyone was like, what the heck? And then I'm like going off like a shot, just running the bases. They're all scrambling. And it was just like this beautiful moment for me to like, of just like personal achievement of just like, I did that. Like it, all the consistent effort mattered. And I won like everyone's respect after that. And like, it was just like, you know, I was often like the up there in being chosen, not like necessarily first ever, but like definitely got a lot more encouragement after that. If I did have an off day, like people were like, okay, it's like, it's all good, right? And so I thought that like that was a cool story of just like sports bringing people together, but also it can be like a place of personal achievement where you can like really see your effort like come to fruition. And that if you stick to something, no matter like the pressures or things that people are throwing at you, like you can win that respect and you can like play and have fun. And and just also don't like let other people discourage you from what you're doing. You can reach those goals you have for yourself.
Exactly.
I agree.
Exactly.
That's like a perfect example of like saying, like, I don't know, I feel like it's like an underdog moment. You know what I mean? Everyone loves the underdog. Everyone roots for the underdog. If you don't have a team in the Super Bowl, who do you root for? The underdog. And so like even if I feel like the other team's gonna win no matter what, I'm like, I want to hold on to that little chance that the small guy's gonna win. And everyone roots for the small guy. And so I think that's where sports is like, you know, like Rocky. Like there's these things where it's like, I'm gonna root for this guy because I don't think he has any chance to win, but if he does, it's gonna be amazing.
It's gonna be cool.
That's the part of sports where I love, and I feel like that's where everyone can connect with it. Like everyone has someone to root for. There's always going to be someone like you playing a sport. You just got to find them, and you'll be that biggest fan for that person. And so there's someone out there to root for, and there's someone that wants to be rooted for, I guess.
I agree. Talking about people that want to be rooted for, I say dancers are part of that, right? A lot of times people give dancers a bad rap, and I hate that because so much work goes into dancing. So much. I have had roommates that were ballet dancers. They put in so much effort every single semester doing the work that they need to do to get that beautiful final pose, right? That beautiful final dance. It's so wonderful to see like how much work and effort they can put into it. And I know there's a lot of people out there that they're like, oh, here's the dance team again. And I'm like, don't have that. Don't have that kind of feeling towards people like that. They're putting hours upon hours of work into this. And so that's one thing I actually like about BYU-I is that there's literally all kinds of dance classes and anyone can take them. And it's so cool. So cool.
It is. It's a lot of fun just to watch. Because I'm like, my body does not move that way. Like I can, no matter how much practice I put in, that does not work for me. But it's cool to see how their bodies move and how they can help have that motion and express themselves in that way. I think that's pretty cool.
And just like the dedication, like behind like whatever sport you're in, right? Like the dancing or football or different, like each of those require like a level of commitment.
Absolutely.
And so it's always cool to see people's dedication and just the way that that's expressed in that sport, like ice skating too. Like there's a lot that goes.
Oh my
into
gosh,
those.
yes.
Blows my mind, yeah.
Yeah,
and cool.
It just looks effortless, right? Like the professionals. When you look at the professionals in different sports, it's so fun to watch because it's just amazing.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, speaking of like, you know, the dedication and things. In high school, I actually didn't realize. When I was in marching band, I would be looking at the cheer squad and being like, the cheerleaders, they're my enemy, right? But now looking back, I'm like, oh my gosh, that cheer squad put in so much effort. Every single day after school, they were practicing, and they were amazing. So great, so talented. So cheer squads are one of those I think kind of get a bad rap, but they shouldn't because they're amazing, and they've put in so much work and effort, and they have such athleticism. It's amazing to see them do the routines that they do.
I agree. I think we're talking about all the like dancing and cheerleading and all these ones that some people may prefer like to be called like secondhand sport. I don't know what you'd call it. I don't know. But I feel like they're all sports, and every single sport has their own level of dedication. You brought it up, and it's like success is only going to be determined by how much you put into it for anything. And so that's why sports is just like, I mean, if you got a good job and you're going to do good at that job by how much time you put into it. Same thing with sports. And so every sport just takes so much dedication, work, and all these things. I mean, we brought up golf at the very beginning. I'm like, the reason why I don't want to go into golf is because it actually takes a ton of skill, and it's like it is kind of boring to watch sometimes. But like when you think about what's going on and how many little details, whether they look a certain way or anything like that, there's a lot that goes into it that I'm like, I could never. But there's some people that's their whole life, and so I don't know. That's why I just stick to, I don't know if you guys know Top Golf. I just go to Top Golf and I just hit the balls as far as I can. It doesn't take any skill. And so I love that. Or mini golf. I'm a mini golf pro over here.
4.
Yeah, 4. I just shout that.
Mini golf is really fun.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Really, really fun. I would say, though, you're right. Like the professional golf, so many little calculations in people's heads, and it's really cool to see.
Mind-boggling.
Oh, it's mind-boggling.
See, golf, I told you that I don't like to play or watch golf. However, that does not mean that I don't respect the golf athletes.
Oh, yeah.
Because they do. They put in so much work. Look at Tiger Woods. Look at other, golfers, and they work their butts off to bring.
It's a commitment.
Yeah.
It really is. And I would say with any sport, it's a commitment. The more you put in, the more you're going to get out of it.
Yep.
I think another underrated sport would be like ping pong.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Like everyone kind of considers that like somewhat easy, but there's a lot of hand-to-eye coordination. I lots of respect for that too. People have tried to play ping pong with me, and it never ends well. So,
are you too good? Is that what you're trying to say right
I'm
now?
too bad.
I thought you were like a slight brag right here. People try to play with me, and they always lose. Okay, I see you.
They're the ones like give me pity serves. They're like, here, try again. It's okay. And I'm like, it's not, but it's okay.
But you still have fun at the end of the day, because ping pong, like
100%.
I can lose and be awful at it, but I'm like,
Still fun.
when I get 1 point, it's a big deal. Like,
It
I'm like,
is.
woo! I have a little party before, and then I'm still
100%.
partying as they're scoring on me. Yeah.
Right? You ride that high.
Yeah,
Party continues.
So we're talking about ping pong, and my brain went to Wii Sports.
Oh,
Okay.
my gosh, yeah.
Wii Sports, so fun. But it also brings up a different topic. Esports and esports teams.
True.
We haven't talked about this at all. Do you guys consider it a real sport, or do you think it's different? It should be in a different category? What do you think?
I think it is.
They put it on ESPN.
Yeah,
so
they did put it on ESPN.
Yeah.
I think they had I don't know what game it was, but they had like double the amount of coverage as the Super Bowl. Like, if at the end of the day, we kind of brought it up, but like what you put into something can make it like a sport. So like the dedication that someone puts in the time they put into it, it becomes a struggle. And I know like it may sound funny to some other people, but like they have to put a lot of time into it. They have to sacrifice a lot to get good at what they're
Absolutely.
doing. And it's like, it's something that probably I don't think I could ever do. And it's just me saying that straight up because, I mean, I like playing games, but I do it more as like a casual for fun. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I just feel like it's kind of crazy how good they get because they really are pros. Like they're professionals at what they do. And
They are.
They earn it because they put so much time into it.
And it's fun. They get sponsors. They make money out of this.
Exactly.
Stuff.
It's a life.
It's not just a fun hobby. They do it for money and a career.
Absolutely. And on top of that, YouTubers who play games, I watch them nonstop.
Oh, yeah.
Nonstop. They're so much fun. And, as college students, we don't have time really to do stuff for ourselves sometimes.
Yeah.
So I don't have time to play the games I want to play, but I have time to watch other people play the games I want to play.
I'm living through you.
Well, something you can do too, like while you're studying, you can have something like that playing. And so I appreciate the people who put aside their time to
do
I guess,
it.
Yeah, to do it for us. So I think it would be cool if BYU-I could bring that because I feel like nowadays it can make a lot of connections. I think that sports in general and all sports, including esports, it brings people together, as we brought up earlier. And it's just something else that adds to meeting people and making like meaningful connections. And so, hey, I think BYU-I should bring it, even if it's an intramural thing or if it's a short thing. Like, throw it in there.
Or just the society.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a little sports society.
It would be so
Like
cool. And we'd
esports.
have like our own little esports team and That would be amazing.
I'm all for it.
Let's do it. And then we could work with, Video Production Society to make a really cool, competition. We could actually make a whole YouTube video of this competition.
Right.
It'd be cool. It'd be really cool.
The
Let's bring it to the top.
You've been listening to The Spot, a production of BYU-Idaho Radio. Today's hosts were me, Savannah Bewley,
Hayden Hon.
Chandler Guadignin.
And Kaitlyn Tippits.
The views and opinions of this podcast are not that of BYU-Idaho Radio or the university and are solely the opinions of the hosts. This episode was edited by me, Savannah Bewley, and Grant Weirin. Producers were the hosts with supervision by Brandon Isle and Natalia Hepworth. Our theme music is Finding Happiness by DJ Quads and The Perpetual Ticking of Time by Artificial Music. To listen to more episodes of The Spot, like and follow us on social media or visit our website, byui.edu/radio, and click podcasts. Be sure to subscribe to BYU-Idaho Radio Podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, or wherever you get podcasts. And also, leave a review of the show and leave a comment on what we should talk about next.